All right, welcome back to the biggest day of the tennis season. It feels like we've got five. We've got 5 crazy matches. One's already been complete. Not the craziest match. Unfortunately, it wasn't as close as we'd hoped. But now Swiatek, who's in the semis, she's going to play in a couple of days. We're going to find out who's going to play because one of these ladies is going to take on Swiatek. So no matter what happens, that semi-final is going to be crazy. Rybakina and Sabalenka, they played an epic match before Wimbledon, and now they face off in Cincy. So let's see if we get a rematch or a repeat of that. They have played a lot of times, very familiar with each other's games. Of course, played in the Australian Open final. That was the big one, 7-4. Head-to-head in favor of Sabalenka, 11 times played. Last time they played, Sabalenka won in Berlin. It was 7-6 in the third. But both had match points. I think it was like 10-8 in the tiebreak or something crazy. They also played the WTA finals last year where Rybakina got the win. Rybakina's actually won their last 4 of their last 5 hard court meetings. So that's an interesting stat. So yeah, on hard courts, it is 3-all. But Rybakina's won most of the last bunch of them. So yeah, very interesting that Rybakina would be hang on. What did I say? Did I say 3 or 5? 4 or 5? What did I say? Hang on, they played more than that. So Sabalenka's 1, 2, 3. So 4-3 in favor of Rybakina when it comes to hardcourt tennis. 4-3. And then Sabalenka's won 2 on grass, 1 on clay as well. That makes sense. That's math, right? So Rybakina's 4 wins have come on hard courts, and Sabalenka's 4-3 on hard courts in favor of Rybakina. In favor of Rybakina. And Sabalenka's won grass twice and clay once. Yeah, that's correct. That maths, right? That works. Players on court. Kevin's going to be a very long day. We get to see and hear you for hours. Yep. Yes, you do. It is going to be a very long day. But I'm prepared. I have cleared my schedule. I have no plans for the entire day. My plan is to be here and watching this. We're going to be here for 10 hours already, today. Hopefully. If we're not here for 10 hours, then the matches weren't very good. So we are going to be here all day and night. So make sure you cancel your plans as well. Commit to the cause. Hey, Bet Monster, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. All right. Hey, LA, thank you for the 34 months. Best tennis coverage, awesome chat, lovely Mia. Well, Mia's gone. I'm taking her out of here because it's 3 in the morning and she, we're going to start yelling and screaming because these matches are going to start getting crazy. So I've put her in her other bed where she can actually get some quiet. But yeah. All right, here we go. But thank you for the 34 months. Almost 3 years. Almost 3 years. Me getting spa-like sleep. Yeah, that's it. All right. They're just warming up the last couple of shots. 3 minutes. Bet Monster, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate it. All right. Last few shots. And then we will begin. And then tomorrow, so things start getting really, the next couple of days, it's going to be very, very quiet. We get the semifinals of the men's tomorrow, women's semifinals on Sunday, and then Monday we get both men and women's finals. So it's a little bit from today, after today, like today's like 5 crazy matches and then 2-2-2. And then next week, of course, we've got the mixed doubles, which we're going to see what that looks like. The draw comes out. And then the tournament starts on Sunday. So Sunday start, which always sometimes is not great because the first day of the first Sunday, it's very rare that you get like a big name play. But we'll see. We'll see who plays on the first day of the tournament. Personally, I'm not a fan of Sunday starts, but I know why I get why they're appealing. It means that people, and especially when when you have a normal job, like Sunday starts are great. You get to go to the tournament on the Sunday because you can't go on Monday, Tuesday because you have to work. So I get why they're good. I don't like them. I don't like them. I think it just drags the first round out too long, but I understand why people like them. Mixed double draw starts Sunday or play? No, mixed double starts on like Wednesday. I thought you meant pickleball. Wait, what? This afternoon, I'm going to go see Weapons. We'll chat next week. Yeah, next week we'll talk about Weapons. We're not going to talk about it this week. Give people a chance to watch it. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Final serves, and then we are going to find out who's going to play Swiatek. Bet Monster.
Sabalenka, who you got come?
I've got Sabalenka in 3. I'm going to go Sabalenka in 3. Thank you for the £2 or €2. All right. Here we go. 2 of the most powerful players in the top 10. The biggest hitters, the biggest servers, the tallest. For a while there, in 2023-24, or mainly 2023, a lot of people were thinking that it would be Rybakina, Sabalenka, and Swiatek as the big 3, with Rybakina, Sabalenka being the most intimidating and scary 2 of the bunch, right? Because Rybakina was beating Swiatek at the time. Injuries and results, mainly injuries, and then pressure on having to get good results to keep her ranking high has meant that that Rybakina has dropped, but she's starting to get back into form. She's starting to get back into it. She's got 1,000 titles. She's made a couple of Grand Slam finals. She's won a Wimbledon. Rybakina has had a very good career. And is only like 25. Like she hasn't even, to think that she couldn't win another slam would be crazy. 26. She turned 26 this year. So to think that she's done is crazy. She's right in the middle of her prime. She could still very much win a slam and get back to the top 3. Love 15. Sabalenka is a lovely winner. Love 30. Love 30. And this is where the tournament starts to get real serious for Sabalenka, because the draw from now on Like, yeah, okay, she's had, she played Raducanu, she played Vondrousova, very tricky players. 2 Grand Slam champions as well. Then she played Monero. She got that win pretty simply. But then now it's like Rybakina, Swiatek, and possibly Gauff. So if Sabalenka does win this tournament, she's taken out, like every round except for the Monero match, has been a Grand Slam champion if she plays Gauff in the final. Like and if she wins, that is a hell of a run to go and beat Vondrousova, who she lost to recently, Raducanu, who she beat Raducanu very closely, and then to take out Rybakina, Swiatek, Gauff in a row. I mean, Sabalenka's the favorite at the US Open easily if that's the case, because like Sabalenka's the number 1 already, but it's like, how do you not say that Sabalenka's the favorite to win if she's just beaten, like especially beaten 3 players who we all expect are gonna be favorites as well, like 30-all. But I think this is where Sabalenka's going to really just like lock in, because she has to. Like, there's no more, you're not getting any more easy matches unless you get to the final and play somebody else. Unless she plays like, Kudermetova in the final. That might be slightly better, but yeah. By the way, Stefano Vukov in the house. He's back. First tournament back. David Sanguinetti is still there, though. So it's not like he didn't get removed. It's a double 2-coach combo. But Vukov is back from suspension. 40-30. There's a backhand slice from Sabalenka. And then the forehand cross-court winner by Sabalenka, and we get to deuce. We get the deuce. Serve again. Here's a fault, second serve. As the return goes into the form of Rybakina. Sabalenka defending as Rybakina hits a backhand to the backhand of Sabalenka. Into the backhand of Rybakina. And Rybakina hits it wide. Advantage Sabalenka. Break point. To break first game. As Sabalenka gets a return wide, and we get back to deuce. We get to deuce. As Rybakina with an ace. Advantage Rybakina. Already 2 aces. As we get a forehand from Sabalenka into the forehand of Rybakina. And Rybakina holds. Rybakina holds. All right. All right. First game, Rybakina holds. Okay. Sabalenka to serve. As the return goes in the backhand of Rybakina. Sabalenka slice as Rybakina hits a winner. Love 15. Love 15. As the return goes out by Rybakina, 15 all. Chris!
Thanks, Cam, for always giving us entertaining watch-alongs.
Thank you, Chris, for the $50. No worries. That's very generous. You didn't need to do that. Thank you for the $50. Can we get some salutes in the chat for Chris? For the $50 super chat. That's crazy. Glad you enjoyed the tennis. Appreciate it. 15 all. Sabalenka serves again. Into the backhand of Rybakina. Sabalenka forehand cross-court winner. 30-15. 30-15. The return goes for Sabalenka. She puts it away. 40-15. Sabalenka too strong. And it's 1-0. Max Mioni in the house. Watching or working with Sabalenka, former Belarusian. I think there's a Belarusian number one. Men's number one, I think. Like number one in Belarus, not the number one in the world. Doubles legend. I think he might have been number one in doubles. But he's working alongside. Well, he's working with Sabalenka. In the Sabalenka team. Uh, 1-1. There's a return from Sabalenka to the back of Rybakina. Rybakina in the net. Love 15. That Max guy is tall. Yeah, he's a big dude. He is a big dude. He is 6'5". He won one singles title, got to 18 in the world back in 2003. Made the quarterfinals of the US Open in 2002. Number one doubles player in 2003. 52 doubles titles, including 4 French Opens and 2 US Opens. Made the final of the other slams as well. Also won the ATP finals twice in doubles. Quarterfinals of the Olympics in 2000 and won 4 mixed doubles titles in the late 90s and throughout the 2000s. So did win a mixed doubles gold medal at the Olympics in London as well. Actually won his first Grand Slam doubles match, doubles title with Lleyton Hewitt. He won the US Open, 2000 US Open in the men's doubles with Lleyton Hewitt. There you go. And then he teamed up with Jonas Bjorkman as the main guy. He was with Bupati as well for a while, and also Nestor at the end. But yeah, and then teamed up with Serena in the late 90s, won a couple of mixed doubles titles with Serena, then teamed up with Kornikova for a final of a US Open, and then Azarenka in 2000s, and then a couple of other players at the end. And he won the bronze medal, the gold medal, at the London Olympics with Azarenka, and they beat Murray and Robson in the final of the London Olympics, which would have just been really heartbreaking for the locals. But Andy won the gold, so I mean maybe less heartbreaking. Also won a bunch of 1,000 titles in doubles as well, including Paris, Stuttgart, Miami, Monte Carlo, Madrid, Canada, Rome, Hamburg, Cincinnati, pretty much all of them. Did I just name every 1,000 title? Shanghai, I think he won every. Did he win the Golden Masters in doubles? Like what the hell? Hang on, what happened? Hang on, what did he not win? Did he win all the 1,000s? Anyways, 30 all as Rybakina 40-30. Wait, Paris, Miami, Monte Carlo, Madrid, Rome. He didn't win Indian Wells. He doesn't have Indian Wells, but he has everything else and the ATP Finals. So he almost has it. He just needed Indian Wells. Maybe, and look, he could come out of retirement and win Indian Wells. Maybe, I don't know. He made the final of Indian Wells, but he didn't win Indian Wells. So he is almost. It's almost perfect. By the way, made the quarterfinals of the 2002 US Open, the famous Sampras final Sampras Slam. Lost to Agassi in 4 sets in the quarterfinals. But did beat Roger Federer in the 4th round of that tournament as the number 32 seed. So he took out Federer in the 4th round and then went down to Agassi in the quarterfinals of 2002 US Open. So he got Federer just before Federer took off. So he got a win over Federer at a Grand Slam. That's hard and that's rare. Not many people can say they got that. And then he made the final of Madrid / Stuttgart, because it was Stuttgart at the time. Made the final of that as a 1,000. He was a qualifier. He beat Sampras, he beat Querten, Ivanisevic, Sampras, Kafelnikov, and then he lost to Tommy Haas. I mean, that's a run. At a 1,000 level, that's a run. Querten, Ivanisevic, Sampras, Kafelnikov, Haas. Lose the Haas. Crazy run. By the way, Stuttgart was a 1,000 in 2001. Indoor clay, I think. I think it's still the same. Maybe is it the same as the ladies or is it not? It was an indoor hard court event. Sorry, indoor hard courts. Before, so it was what Madrid was. It was before Madrid. So then it turned into Madrid, which was indoor hard courts, and then Madrid went to clay, and Shanghai, I guess, took over. But yeah, so no surprise, he made an indoor hard court final, because back in the day, indoor hard courts were super fast. Anyways, there's your history lesson about Max Mirny and who he is. So when they talk about him at the US Open, you'll be like, I already know this. The guy on the computer told me. That goes out by Rybakina, 15 love. As the return goes in the backhand of Sabalenka, backhand of Rybakina. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. There's another backhand Rybakina. Sabalenka into the forehand of Rybakina. And then Sabalenka puts up a lob. But it's out. 15-0. By the way, chat, why are we having a GOAT debate? Are we okay? Who's having a GOAT debate in 2025? It's irrelevant. Pointless conversation. 15-0. The return goes in the forehand of Sabalenka. Sabalenka hits it wide. 15-30. We don't even need to debate it. We don't need to defend one player or disregard other players. We don't need to. And there's no one's. It's so weird how the name Roger Federer triggers people too. I say Federer, you say he's not that good. No, he is that good. He's just not as good as Djokovic. But we didn't say anything about that. We're just talking to Roger. Roger, his name is sends people it sends people to weird places. People get real scared. Say crazy shit. Anyways, 1540. Just wait until we watch him play doubles in Shanghai. Actually, no, please don't watch him play doubles. Just don't be there for that. 3040. Okay, so just before this guy gets sent to the moon, can we all just listen to what this person said before we leave? Djokovic is the GOAT. Topic ends there. No one from the women because women can't beat men. Yeah, mods, can we remove this guy? That's crazy. We don't need that. Get this guy out of here. All right, Deuce. Yeah, what a wild thing to say. You could have just said Djokovic is GOAT, end of topic. But then you just went too far. You were trying to be too edgy. Anyways. Deuce. As with a fault from Sabalenka. Second serve. Second serve. Yeah. Moving on. We're talking about Max Murny, who's helping Sabalenka. I don't know what he's helping her with, but he's part of the team for this US Open swing. So that's fun. So maybe with the serve, maybe with the net game, that's sort of his specialty. Big serve, net game. As Rybakina gets another break point. Stefano Vukov is getting very vocal in his return as a coach. As a in-person coach. He was always the coach. He just wasn't in the box because of the suspension. But he's back. All right, advantage Rybakina. Serving to the back of Rybakina. Return goes into the back of Sabalenka. Sabalenka gets it out. 3-1 Rybakina. She gets the break. She gets the break. All right, Alcaraz or Rublev? Ooh, Alcaraz. Alcaraz. Who is Bobby Riggs? How do you not know who Bobby Riggs is? It's one of the most famous parts of tennis. He challenged that back in the 60s. They made movies about him. He's the whole thing. How do you not know who Bobby Riggs is? He was, again, I'm not going to go into details because people are just going to get really annoyed and people are going to get really silly about it. But roughly he was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when Billie Jean King was fighting for equal pay, he was someone who was saying, well, no, that shouldn't be a thing. And remember, it was back in the 60s and 70s, so it was a different time. There was different rules, right? There was different culture, right, back then. So it was a different time. But he was he was saying that he was against it, I guess. Again, not defending him because obviously he's wrong, but that's. And then Billie Jean King did he challenge her or she challenged him? No, he challenged Margaret Court. He played Margaret Court. And he was retired by then. I think he was in his late 40s, 50s. And Margaret Court was in her prime. He played her, he beat her, and he was like, see, I told you. And then Billie Jean King challenged him, and she beat him. And that was a whole battle of the sexes thing. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. Not just for like men's tennis. It was like, because that like tennis is always like with that specific thing. It's now we're seeing like NBA, WNBA getting more, and women's soccer and all this stuff. Like tennis has always been like from back then because of Billie Jean King. That's why she's such a big deal to tennis. But that's a big situation because that started the that whole saga was the reason why we're here, and they kicked it off. Equal pay, It was in 72, yeah. So right at the start of the Open era as well. So yeah. And he used to be a tennis player. Yeah, Bobby Riggs was a former tennis player. He was retired by the time he played. He was already retired when he played. But yeah, but it was a whole thing. There's a movie about it. Just watch the movie. Like you don't even have to read. You can just go watch a movie. All right, 4-1. Yeah, Riggs was 55 and King was 29. Yeah, so she was in her prime and he was well and truly retired. But he played Margaret Court, I think, twice and beat her both times. And then Billie Jean King stepped in and was like, hey, I will take you on. Because I think by then Margaret Court was past her prime, and that was... God, we're getting really into it now. It's a whole thing. Go watch a movie. Go watch the movie. Go watch... I'm going to go watch the movie. I need to educate myself to get the details right. 4-1. And the 4 now from Rybakina is a winner. Beautiful shot. Love 15. Love 15. That was a huge moment. That was a huge moment in not just in tennis, but in culture, like life. That's why Billie Jean King is such a big deal. That's why we see her. That's why she's got a stadium named after, a whole thing named after her, a whole venue named after her. Right? That's why she's. That's why she's so like integrated into tennis. Still, she's always in the front row of the chair. She's always there. She's an icon. And that's just one reason. Right? There's plenty of other reasons. She also was a great tennis player. She won a lot of slams. Like that's another reason. 15-0. Sabalenka serves into the forehand of Rybakina. Forehand of Sabalenka. And he's got a forehand now from Sabalenka. Again, the forehand of Rybakina. The forehand of Sabalenka. Rybakina forehand down the line. Sabalenka slice. And Rybakina forehand again to the slice of Sabalenka. Then Rybakina hits it long on the easy forehand. So that was a bad miss. 30-40. 30-15. 30-15. Yeah, the whole US Open tennis facility is named after her. Billie Jean King Tennis Center. It's not just like they didn't just name her an arena; they named the whole place after her. When they moved to the hard courts, then they renamed the National Tennis Center to the Billie Jean King. What was it called? National. I think that's what it is. Billie Jean King. I mean, they've named the Fed Cup after her. Yeah, the Billie Jean King Tennis. The USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. That's a lot of words. But before that, I think it was just called the National Tennis Center. 1978. She was. So she didn't. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, we'll just name Center Court after you. It was like they named the whole place after her. Every court. She's. It's like you've got like a town, they named a city. Like, it's basically the state after her. You know what I mean? Like the whole state is named after her at the US Open. I don't think anywhere else is like that. Have they got anywhere else like that? Roland Garros, maybe? 30-40. Chance for a double break here, Rybakina. Sabalenka gets it out. 5-1. Wow. Rybakina dominating here. All right. 5-1. You're only 3 hours away from the US Open. You should go. Try and get there. All right. 5-1. There's been an ace from Rybakina. 15 love. So yeah, Billie Jean King is a legend of the game. As we get a serve again from Rybakina. And Sabalenka in the net in the return. 30 love. And we're winner of this place, Swiatek, in the semis on Sunday. All right, 30 love. A bit of fault by Rybakina. Second serve. I thought today was meant to be good. Hey, it's only the second match. If we get to the fourth match and it hasn't been good, then pipe up, all right? Then you can say something, all right? By the way, even if this is a 6-1, 6-1 for Rybakina or some crazy shit, that's something crazy. It might not be the epic 3-hour match, but if Rybakina absolutely blitzes Sabalenka, that is something. That is impressive. Just not the match, not like the epic that you'd hope we wanted, but it's still something to take notes. Chat, you better be taking notes. 40 love. As Rybakina return goes out by Sabalenka, that's a 6-1. That was easy. Now, Sabalenka wasn't playing her best. By the way, Sabalenka not getting pissed off, which is probably a good thing, because it means that she's not freaking out. But 6-1 Rybakina. Crazy. A lot of errors from Sabalenka's part, but Rybakina is super, super solid. All right. All right. Let's look at the stats. 7 winners, only 5 errors from Sabalenka. Forced errors, 13. So that shows that Rybakina was super. Rybakina, 10 winners, 3 errors. I mean, yeah, that was all Rybakina. She won 100% of first serve points as well. So Sabalenka actually didn't play that bad. Rybakina just blitzed her. That's scary. Maybe that's why Sabalenka's not pissed off, because she's like, well, I didn't play bad. I just got beaten by someone who's playing ridiculous. Wow. I for sure thought that, like, oh, Sabalenka's hitting some errors. No. Rybakina is making her hit errors, because the difference, chat, the two different errors, right? You got forced errors and unforced errors. So forced errors are, for example, if someone hits a big serve and you hit it in the net. So it's forced. They forced you to hit the error because they hit a really good shot. Unforced errors are when somebody hits a easy shot and you miss an easy shot. That's unforced, right? Because it wasn't forced. Your opponent didn't force you to make the error. That's what the difference is, right? So to have 13 forced errors means that your opponent made you hit those errors, which means your opponent is bullying you around the court. 13 forced errors, but then Rybakina hit 10 winners. So then 23 shots that Rybakina hit, or points that Rybakina played, 23 of those points were she dominated. 23 of those points. Either by forcing an error or by hitting a winner. That's crazy dominant. That is crazy. That just shows how much of a bully Rybakina is being right now. Against Sabalenka, who is also can bully people. I mean, she's bullying the bully. Like that's that's what we're watching right now. Thank you for using the term in the definition of the term. Yeah, because some people don't understand it. That's okay. I'm not going to assume that people know what it all means. That's what we're here for. We're here to hopefully learn and understand what's up. You know, some people might not understand the difference. That's okay. When was the last time Sabalenka got breadsticked? That is a great question. I think it has been recently. I'm sure she has. She does sometimes lose sets badly. She lost the 6-2 to Vondi. She lost the 6-2 to Coco. Yeah, so Ostapenko Stuttgart final, 6-1 second set. So yeah, so she has lost but that was, Penko was on a fire that week. So Penko was the last one to do it this year. And then Rybakina did it in the finals of the WTA finals last year. In the third set, she won 6-1. So twice. By the way, chat, look, if Rybakina wins this match, because it's still just getting started, anything could happen from now. If Rybakina wins this match, I think we can safely say that Stefano Vukov, and I know people don't like him and people think that like he's, that we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know. People are saying they've seen, like, whatever, we don't know. But I don't think we can argue that he is not a positive reason why she's winning so easily and playing so good. Him being there is a positive impact for her on court. Like, I mean, she wasn't playing like this when he wasn't around. You might not like him, and again, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know if any of the rumors are true. I don't know. And if they are, I'm sure it will come out eventually, and it will be horrible. But at this stage, we don't know anything. It's all rumors. But you can't deny that him being there is good for her. It's good for her tennis. Why don't people like him? Because they kind of, people hear things, and then they connect the dots, and they think that it's a worse situation than it maybe is, and that she needs to get away from him and all this stuff. We don't know anything of that. We don't know what's true and what's not. So but you can tell that clearly he's a positive impact on her tennis by that first set. Him being there gives her the confidence to play her best. 30 love. Let's see if Sabalenka can come back here, because Sabalenka's going to have to lift, because Rybakina played so well in that first set. We serve now the backhand of Rybakina. Forehand now from Sabalenka. Into the front of Rybakina. Sabalenka backhand again. The front of Rybakina. Rybakina in the net. 40 love. And I'm sure if it hasn't been asked this week in the press conference, I'm sure it will be at the US Open. Has anybody have they asked a question that, like, having him back has been a positive impact? Like, has she talked about it yet or not yet? Sabalenka holds one love. Good serve. Because I want to hear that. That'll be an interesting answer to hear what she has to say with him that he's back, allowed to be there. She hasn't been asked that yet. I mean, if she wins today, they're probably going to ask that, right? Or at least they'll definitely ask her at the US Open. That'll be the first question she gets asked. No, Cam, you cannot say that. She was playing really bad in 2024 before Vukov was suspended. When? She didn't play between like the US Open and WTA finals. I mean, what do you mean? When was she not playing well? She was injured for half the season. Well, effectively like a third of the season she wasn't even playing. And by the way, I can say that. You don't have to agree, but I can say it. I don't think, I can say that he is a positive impact for her results, as we've seen this week and last week. Everyone's saying that Sabalenka is playing bad. No, Sabalenka is not playing bad. Rybakina is playing amazing. Sabalenka is playing Rybakina. That's what's happening. Anyways, love 15. As we get a double fault, love 30. See, this is what happens, chat. We start talking about it, and then look what happens. All right, love 30. She wasn't happy that he wasn't there. Doesn't mean he's actually good for her, but he won his appeal. So, yeah, again, I love 30. I get it. $15.30. Look, I am very understanding that people are going to have their bias against and have their reasons. And look, I am totally understanding of that. That people are going to have a certain opinion on, even if they hear something that it sounds bad, and that he got suspended for a reason, and I totally understand that. And I'm not trying to change your mind. You can have your opinions on that, and you can think that way. That's totally fine. You can make your own opinions and make your own minds up. But we haven't got any hard facts besides a suspension by the WTA, and that could have been for any reason. He could have been suspended because they were scared that it was worse than it is, when it might not be. Because again, chat, I've said this before. Go watch Elena Rybakina documentary that came out, I think, at the start of the year. Go watch that. And that will probably tell you why the WTA are a lot more vigilant now than because back then they were a little bit like, well, we don't know what's going on, so we're not going to get involved. But go watch that, and it might give you an idea of why the WTA are a little bit more likely to give someone, if they hear bad things or they see bad, or they think something's bad, they're more likely to, And I'm not saying that he didn't deserve to get suspended, but he got appealed by an independent tribunal. So you got to think, well, if a third party come in and say, hey, we don't see anything wrong with this situation, and go against the WTA, and they say, well, we're gonna let him be there, and the WTA, because the WTA didn't want him there, they wouldn't have suspended him otherwise. You wonder if maybe the WTA are just trying to be overly cautious, and of course you have to be in these situations. Like, you have to be, because these things are so serious. But like her wanting him there, again, it was a massive disruption to her, right? To Rybakina, having him not be there and having him suspended, and she wasn't, and I get it, people are going to say, well, that's because she, we've heard all those things. We've heard all those things like, oh yeah, she needs, she's stuck, she needs to get out of it. It's toxic, all that stuff. But we don't know that. We don't know that. None of us are there, And I hope that it's not. But we can't judge that it is. We can't say, oh, well, it definitely is. She's doing this because of this. We don't know that. Sabalenka in that back to deuce. But of course, the WTA are going to be overly cautious because if it is bad, they don't want to be held responsible for ignoring it, right? So they're gonna suspend him if they feel that it could be really bad, even if it's not. Again, we don't know. We don't know these things. All we know is that he was very angry, and verbally aggressive. That's the only thing I think that's been told. But we don't know anything else. And the WTA are not going to comment further, so we don't know. They're not going to tell us anything else. All right, advantage Rybakina. But again, I'm totally understanding of people that are going to be like, well, I think that he is a terrible person, and okay, that's okay. You can think that, that's okay. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just saying, if you don't know the situation, he's allowed to be there. The independent tribunal said that they didn't see anything bad. Well, they didn't think it was bad. And he's allowed to be there. And she's playing well. And if she wants him to be there, we don't know what's going on. And we can't just guess what's going on. But at the end of the day, as long as she's safe and playing well and having fun and playing well and having a good time on the court and getting good results and enjoying tennis, it's a good thing for her. As long as she is okay. I mean, at the end of the day, that's it, right? Rybakina's safety and health and well-being is what we all care about. That's why we all have these thoughts, right? As long as she's okay, that's at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what. It's not about him, as long as she's okay. And if she rather him be there, and if she plays better because he's there and she's having better results, more fun, more comfortable with him there, then we can't do much more. There's nothing we can do. We don't know what's going on. Just hope that it's not. Just hope for the best. It's what's best for her. And if she thinks this is best for her, then hey. Love 15. Again. And we'll probably never know. Unless it was, unless it comes out in like 20 years and it's a whole big thing. It's, But again, I encourage you to go watch the Elena Dokic documentary because that might give you a little bit of a more perspective on this situation because that's the worst case, right? Worst case scenario is that situation, which is what nobody else wants. We all are aware of that situation, and we all don't ever want anyone to ever go through that again. And unfortunately, it does still happen. Maybe not in tennis, but in life, that's still a situation that's sad, right? And happens. So we all know that is the worst case scenario, and we all think worst case when we hear stuff like this. We're like, oh well, what if it's that? But I don't think we'd get a repeat of that. I'm hopeful we wouldn't. I don't think we would. But go watch it because it's very sad. So prepare yourself. It's very sad. But it might give you a little bit more perspective on like these kind of situations when coaches get suspended for, breaching the rules or what, and know why they, and especially the parties that were involved at the time that regret not acting. That's probably, again, something to think about when we see these situations or hear about these things, Again, it's not a fun topic to talk about. What is the I think it's called Unbreakable. Is that what it's called? It actually won a bunch of awards this year. I think you can watch it free. Yeah, it's called Unbreakable. It came out end of last year. It came out start of this year. It's a documentary about her biography. So if you don't like reading, watch it. 1540. Rybakina's about to break here. Sabalenka serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes to the backhand of Sabalenka. Rybakina backhand. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. To the backhand of Rybakina, who hits a winner down the line. Wow. Again, Sabalenka cannot do anything. She is helpless right now in this matchup. Sabalenka dominating. Sorry, Rybakina dominating. Sabalenka struggling. And not because she's not playing well. Sabalenka's playing okay. I tell you, Swiatek. I know Swiatek's been good against Rybakina lately, but I mean, if Rybakina plays like this tomorrow or in 2 days' time, I don't know how. Like, what's Swiatek going to do? How's Swiatek going to play? All right. Now, Sabalenka doesn't look injured at all. She looks very... I tell you, the only thing that Sabalenka doesn't look... She doesn't look energized. She looks kind of a little bit flat. And I don't think she's tired. But Sabalenka doesn't look fired up. She seems a little bit too like, not relaxed, but a little bit too... I don't know, just a little bit too quiet. You know, she's not getting angry, which is a bit scary because she should be pissed off that she's not able to compete properly, like not be able to match Rybakina, but she's a little bit too, like, accepting of this so far. No raw, no, like, when she hits a winner, goes, like, yells. She's a bit... So maybe there is something that we don't know, but she's very, like... She's very subdued at the moment, Sabalenka, which is weird. But maybe it's just because she's playing someone who she just doesn't have an answer to right now. I want to see emotion from Sabalenka. Yeah, exactly. We need to see those emotions. Even if they're negative, you know, we still need to see some fire, right? She just seems a little bit too... it's way too quiet for Sabalenka. Cue the jokes about the grunts. 15 love. I'm going to serve out wide the back, and Sabalenka return goes into the forehand of Rybakina. Sabalenka with a lob. Is in. Great shot, but no reaction. 15-0. I don't know. It's weird. Sabalenka just hit a great lob and she kind of just went, yep. She's acting like Jannik Sinner, but that's not how she is. It's fine if Sinner does that, but so there's got to be something going on. Maybe she's not feeling well, but she's just not reacting, even though that was a great lob. As the return goes in the back and Rybakina. Rybakina hits it out, 15-30. Maybe it's the heat? I don't know. I don't think so, because she's been like this. I mean, it hasn't really been a long match. Yeah, she's got no emotion. There's been no emotion from Sabalenka. It's not over yet, exactly. But also, I don't know. She seems very... too quiet. 30-all. Ace out wide. All right. As Rybakina, great serve again. Short ball, forehand winner from Rybakina, and it's 40-30. 40-30. She knows she's not playing well. Sabalenka is playing fine. It's Rybakina who's playing out of this world. But yeah, Sabalenka's just not... Now she's starting to hit the ball. Here we go. Now Sabalenka's starting to fight. But she hits it wide. 3-1. Yeah, Sabalenka just seems like not bothered at the moment. Well, she doesn't even seem pissed off. If she was angry, I'd be totally different, but it's weird. It's a weird vibes around Sabalenka at the moment. You sound like stolen. I'm sorry, what? What does he sound like? 15 love. By the way, was that an insult or what was that? I don't know what you're trying to say. Do I have an accent? I mean, I'm Australian. Is he Australian? I don't even know. Yeah, Sabalenka looks defeated, exactly, which is crazy because, yeah, okay, she's losing and she's getting beaten, by someone who's playing well, but like Sabalenka doesn't. I mean, she hit a winner there and she kind of just has a little chat to herself. 30 love. Oh, that guy's been timed out 4 times. Okay, he's just trying to be mean. Okay. Well, joke's on you because I didn't understand. I'm too stupid to understand what you meant, so the joke didn't land because I'm an idiot. So you're too. If you tell a joke that's too smart and I don't understand, then it's not funny. All right, 30 love. Has a bit of fault second serve. All right, 30 love. As Sabalenka gets a good serve that time. 40 love. 40 love. And a bit of fault second serve. Second serve, Sabalenka just to stay close as she double faults. 40-15. Sabalenka serves an ace. All right, 3-2 Rybakina. Sabalenka holds, but Rybakina's got the set to break. Let's see if Sabalenka can recover. All right. How is Swiatek beating Rybakina in this form? I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting if we do get Rybakina and Swiatek and Rybakina plays like this. That'll be really interesting. Okay. Finally, we get a Rybakina Coco final? Maybe. I don't know if we are. We're still a long way away. Why do you look like my son-in-law and he's Australian too? I don't know. That's crazy. By the way, they just umpires just having a chat to Sabalenka about something. Sabalenka was down a set and a break on the clay match with last year. Yeah. Yeah, Sabalenka. Look, maybe it is the weather. Maybe the heat is. Sabalenka doesn't want to waste energy by yelling and screaming, but I don't know. It just seems. She just doesn't seem herself right now. I'm definitely not your son-in-law, by the way. All right. Here we go. Three-two, Rybakina. Sabalenka puts up a lob. Rybakina comes in and puts it away. 15 love. Why did she have to remove the label? Okay, so we had this with Alcaraz the other day. So the tournament is sponsored by a water brand. So the players who prefer to drink or maybe get paid to drink other brands of water or other brands, they're not allowed to have them because the tournament's sponsored by someone. So that's why Alcaraz got in trouble, and I think he got fined for it, which is, I guess, the rules. But then, yeah, Sabalenka couldn't drink out of the... She couldn't show the label because that's different to the brand that is sponsored. Because again, chat, the tournament is getting sponsored by a water brand. They're spending money to be part of that tournament. They don't want the players to show off competing brands. Because they're not... Those competing brands are paying the players to drink, but you know what I mean? That's what it is. So, yeah. So the tournament's being sponsored by... I don't even know the brands, but they are being sponsored by something. So that's why Alcaraz got in trouble the other day. That's why Sabalenka had to remove the brand, the label from her bottle because of that reason. All right, 40 love. Doesn't happen all the time. It just happens, I guess, when it happens sometimes. I think at the French Open, they have designated water bottles that the players use. They can't use their own. And also, I think Wimbledon might have a similar situation where they can't use they can't use their own water bottle. They have to use special tournament bottles as part of the sponsors. The brands supply the water bottles. The brand who are paying for the tournament, paying to be at the tournament. But they don't have that here, obviously. They don't have water bottles here at the tournament, so they have to use their own, but then their own are not the ones that they're allowed to use. So that's why. Anyways, love 15. Rybakina looking for a double break, but Sabalenka hits a forehand winner. It's 15-0. By the way, next match coming up, chat, in about an hour's time. Alcaraz taking on Rublev. Alcaraz versus Rublev. 15-0. Yeah, Alcaraz got fined because he said he was not going to remove the label. So he got fined for that. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. So that's why he got fined. He was asked to remove it, and he said no. So, yeah. Also, Riley Opelka, I saw him post on Instagram that he posted he got fined for calling the umpire an idiot. And he got fined like $30,000 or something. It was crazy. But then the rules, you're not allowed to you got a code violation for saying the umpire's an idiot. So if you get a code violation, you get a fine. So, all right, 15-30. And Sabalenka serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the front of Rybakina. Return goes long. But I think it was a let. No, it was out. Okay, that wasn't a let. It was a good serve. All right, what is it? 30-0. 30-0. Oh, man. As we get another let by Sabalenka. Serve again. As the return goes into the forehand of Sabalenka. Sabalenka wins the point. Rybakina in the net. 40-30. Sabalenka serves a fault. Second serve. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got so much. We haven't even started yet. We haven't even started. the day's play. Like, it's going to get real crazy later on. We've got some crazy-ass matchups. As that goes out by Rybakina, and Sabalenka holds. But it's Rybakina with setting a break. Yeah, we've got some crazy matches coming up. We're not even halfway through the day's play. We had Swiatek winning pretty easily against Kalinskaya, an injured Kalinskaya. And now this match, which is a strange match, the way it's been played at the moment. But then we have, Alcaraz next, and then Shelton versus Zverev, which I'm so excited for.
Wake up, women.
Thank you, James, for the $2. So next match, Rublev Alcaraz, and then for me, the best match of the day is Zverev Shelton, and the most important match of the day, because the winner of that match puts themselves in the conversation of best player, best of the underdogs, maybe, to win the tournament of the US Open, especially Shelton, because Shelton's been on a run. And by Zverev beating Shelton, it stops Shelton from, stops his confidence, but also gives Zverev maybe some, we can start saying, Zverev can win the US Open? Like, we could, maybe brings him back into the conversation a little more than, because he hasn't been in the conversation for winning a slam. Like, we talked about him with the French, but Zverev hasn't been in that conversation lately, it seems. It feels like we haven't spoken about Zverev for a couple of months. When we're talking about what can he win, what can he do, he can beat Sinner, he can beat Alcaraz. We've seen it. So it's a very important match. That's coming up in about 5 hours. It's going to be a hell of a match. Plus, the atmosphere is going to be crazy. Friday night, they've got Shelton and Gauff back to back. It's going to be crazy. By the way, shout out to the crowd. It is a full crowd there on a Friday. Unless it's a day off today. Is it a holiday? But there is a full crowd in the stadium on a Friday afternoon. I guess everybody understood the assignment and quit work today. Yeah, I got to leave early. I got to pick up something. Anyways, Karen, thank you for the $20. Thank you, Karen, for the 20. Appreciate that. All right. Love 15. Sabalenka trying to fight back. Love 15. As the return goes out by Sabalenka. 15-0. Golf's at 3 a.m. in South Africa. Yeah, it's Friday, so stay up and watch it. Stay up and watch it. Trust me. You want to watch all these matches today. Lob by Sabalenka. Bounce smash by Rybakina. Is a winner. She almost mishit it, but she puts it away for 30-15. Rybakina almost made that terrible. All right. Get a coffee, mate. Owen, shout me a coffee. $2. I'll get a coffee. Just throw me $1. 30. I'm kidding. Don't do that. I can afford coffee. I have coffee at home. I make my own. Serve into the back of Sabalenka. Return goes out. 40-15. 40-15. Rybakina to take the 5-3 lead. As we return now the forehand of Rybakina. Rybakina in the net. 40-30. 40-30. Still a chance here to get to 5-3. Why is Sabalenka so quiet? I know, right? That's what's so strange. Rybakina slicing into the forehand of Rybakina. Oh, Rybakina in the net. All right, Sabalenka gets to deuce. Cam, you're extremely chatty today, but I love it. Yeah, I've been so fired up the last couple of days. We've been getting so many good, so many I don't know what. Like Canada, we all knew that it wasn't going to be as exciting because of the lack of stars. But Cincinnati is turning out to be like possibly the best 1,000 we've had. It's so like we're getting so many good matches. It's like yes, finally. Even like Wimbledon, right? Wimbledon on the women's side, there were so many upsets that we barely got any good matchups. Like we didn't get top clashes because it was just upsets everywhere. But this feels like the first tournament on both sides for a long time that is interesting. And we're getting like the matches we all want to see. Like I said, today's like the best day, has been the best day. The best lineup you could, like, of the year. The best schedule for sure. I haven't been this fired up probably since Roland Garros. I think the French Open was maybe the last time. Because that had crazy matchups too, right? Ace out wide, we're back to deuce. So I'm fired, I'm ready. Today's a big day. I'm excited about it. Today's exciting. All right, deuce. Cincinnati is providing. And a bit of fault. Second serve. A bit of serve. Into the forehand of Sabalenka. Forehand now from Rybakina to the backhand of Sabalenka. The backhand of Rybakina. And Rybakina hit the tape. And it didn't go over. Advantage Sabalenka to take back the break. To get back on serve. All right, advantage Sabalenka. And then another ace out wide by Rybakina. All right. Deuce. Nothing Sabalenka can do there. We get the deuce. May. Thank you, May, for the 5. I don't know why I didn't read out, but thank you. Advantage Rybakina. Thank you for what you do, especially when we can't watch matches on TV. It's awesome. No worries. Happy to be here. All right, advantage. Advantage Rybakina. Now she hits a forehand into the forehand of Sabalenka. Sabalenka gets a wide. And now Sabalenka's getting angry. We haven't seen her really say anything. 5-3 though. But now she's getting a little bit frustrated. Showing some emotion. Hey, Rosie, thank you for the $10. Appreciate that. All right. Sabalenka serving to stay in the match. As the return goes out by Rybakina. 15 love. As we return now to the forehand of Sabalenka. Rybakina nearly gets it back, but just hits the net. 30 love. Sabalenka serves a fault. Second serve. As the return goes out by Rybakina. 40 love. Whoa. Please stop spamming. All right. 40 love. Sabalenka to make Rybakina serve for the match. 40 love. First serve's a fault. Second serve. Serve to the backhand of Rybakina. She hits it out. Sabalenka holds. And Rybakina is going to serve for the match. Okay. All right. By the way, Joe, where are we watching from? I don't think I've asked that at all this week. Where are we watching from? Where are we watching from? We're from Buffalo. We've got Washington in the house. Nigeria, Florida, UK, India, Cape Town, Poland, Bangladesh, Texas, Toronto, London, Philippines, Iraq, Colorado Springs, Columbus, Puerto Rico, New York, Canada, Dubai, Houston, Philippines, Pakistan, Italy, Sydney, Copenhagen, Botswana, Morocco, Glasgow, Bahamas, Mexico, England, Hamburg, Spain, Mexico, Dallas, Venezuela, Malta, Maui, Chicago, Johannesburg, Indonesia, Thailand, Greece, Kenya, Ecuador, France, Slovenia, Manila, Kentucky, Ukraine, Germany, all right. We're back in a serve for the match. Bali in the house. Love that. So we're back in a serve the fault second serve. As the return goes into the corner for backing up. But Sabalenka's return went long. 15 love. 15 love. All right, serve again. As the return goes in the corner for backing up. Sabalenka backhand. Goes long. 30 love. By the way, chat, we've got about 45 minutes till the next match, so it's going a little too quick right now. We just need to slow down. We just need Sabalenka to get back in this so we at least get a little bit, we'll fill in some time here. 30 love. We're back into getting too crazy. She serves the fault second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Sabalenka. We're back in forehand. To the backhand of Sabalenka. We're back in a backhand. And Sabalenka back into the net. 40 love. I mean, chat. What a dominating performance by Rybakina. Sabalenka's had no answer. I don't know what's up with Sabalenka, but let's just, until we hear otherwise, let's just put it down to Rybakina's too good. What a statement. Against the world number one, 40 love. She serves. A fault. Second serve. And Swiatek awaits. And Rybakina hasn't beaten Swiatek for a while, so that'll be fun to see that match if she plays like this. 40 love. Serving the backhand of Sabalenka. Return goes in the backhand of Rybakina. Sabalenka backhand slice. Goes long. There it is. Rybakina smokes the defending champion in straight sets. And Sabalenka just didn't even... Well, there was no competition there. I mean, she was non-competitive from the start. And again, you wonder whether or not Sabalenka, there's something up, but not injury, just like maybe she was not feeling well or something. I don't know. But we'll hear about it if anything happens. But I'd say Rybakina did her job. She smoked Sabalenka. Sabalenka wasn't even close. There was no chance. No breaks of serve against Rybakina. Rybakina 11 aces. I mean, served ridiculous. Best match of the year by Rybakina, no doubt. Like that is her best performance of the season. Easily. Her best performance of the season. And especially after the disappointment of Berlin where she had match points and she lost. No doubt about that one. She was like, I'm not going to make it close because if it's close, I don't want to lose. So I'm going to get the job done now. Just get out of here as quickly as possible. 1 hour and 15 minutes. I mean, I don't want to say that's the worst loss of Sabalenka because Rybakina played so well, but That's got to be the best win of Rybakina's season. And the best performance by a mile. That was so good. So good from her. All right. Now it's Swiatek versus Rybakina, which is interesting if Rybakina is playing like this. So that's going to be really interesting in the semifinals. Very interesting. All right. If you are leaving, don't forget to subscribe on the way out because we have got plenty more matches left to go today, including Shelton Zverev, which is my favorite match of the day. Alcaraz versus Rublev's coming up in about 30 minutes. No hug? That's too hot to hug. Rybakina played 3 setters in a row and steamrolled Sabalenka. Yeah, I mean, she looked tired. We could have understood that. But, yeah, Rybakina just cruised through Sabalenka. Crazy. What a statement. What a statement. Rybakina played like this against Swiatek for 1.5 sets. Well, we'll see if she can play against Swiatek like this in the next match. Yeah, busy. This is a big match. I mean, people know. Today's a big day. We're learning a lot of things today. Today we're going to learn. And we learned that Rybakina should be a serious contender. Like, we should all be considering Rybakina as somebody who could win the US Open. I know she's never done well there, but we should all consider that we should all put her well and truly in that, because that's the best she can play. And if she plays like that, she can win the US Open. She has to play 7 matches like that, though. But I think that's the takeaway from this match, is that Rybakina is in that group with Gauff. We got to put her in that group with Sabalenka, Gauff, and Swiatek to win the title. Obviously, depends on the draw, right? When the draw comes out, maybe it's different. Maybe she's got a tough draw. But right now, you got to put her in that category of contenders. Like, she's one of the contenders. Can we now say she's officially back? I think if she beats Swiatek, yes. Because she hasn't been able to beat Swiatek lately, which was not what happened at the start of their careers when they played each other. So I think if she beats Swiatek and she reverses that result, I think we've got to say Rybakina's back. She's been really good the last 2 weeks, though. She played well last week, too. Made the semis of Canada, right? But yeah. But this is the Rybakina that we want to see, right? We saw this Rybakina a couple of years ago. We got excited to see Rybakina play like this in 2023. And we're like, oh, she's going to be someone. She might be number 1 in the world eventually. And it's great to see healthy Rybakina and playing like that. That's the Rybakina we want to see. Because you put her in that, like, then we got like some big 4. Like, that's a big 4. If you got Sabalenka, Swiatek, Gauff, and Rybakina, that's a big 4. I hate using that term but it is. They are, and you know, Krejcikova obviously has won a couple of titles too, but those 4 at their best are the best players in the world when they're playing their best. At the moment, they're the 4 best players when they're at their best. Rybakina could have won the Australian Open if she didn't lose to the upset against Blinkova. Yeah, maybe. And she could have won Wimbledon, and she could have had 3 slams, but she has 1. So, the thing is it a one-off, or will this form stick for a while? Well, that's why we've got to see what happens with the Swiatek match. Because if she beats Swiatek, she doesn't have to beat Swiatek this way to make anyone, like, it doesn't matter what. If she beats Swiatek and she goes Sabalenka, Swiatek back-to-back, and Rybakina makes a final, even if she loses the final, doesn't matter. Beating those 2 players in a 1,000 back-to-back, I think we can all agree that she's back. How much do you attribute Vukov being back? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit at length before, but I don't think we can. It's a positive for sure, and it might not be. You know, again, everyone has their opinions on the situation. If you don't like him, whatever. But when it comes to her tennis, he is a good influence. He's a positive in that way. And I think it's more about just stability, right? I mean, when you talk at the start of the year, even at the end of last year, when Vukov, left the team, and then Goran comes on, and then but Vukov's still there, and like having that that volatile kind of situation where it's like, who's the coach, who's calling the shots, and then he gets suspended, so he's not allowed to be there, but she wants him to be there, but he's not allowed to be there, and then they've got to hire someone else, to kind of be him in his spot, and then, it's been such a mess, for her, like her team lineup has been fragmented because, everybody else's coach is allowed to be there. Everyone else's coach is there. You turn to the box and you see the person that is in charge of your tennis. He wasn't there. So it's got to, I mean, we know with Goran it wasn't a great situation the way that was handled, but and it wasn't fair on Goran there. But again, you got to say it's him being there at least is one less thing to worry about, one less thing to, she doesn't have to juggle, that it's just a messy situation, Again, putting aside what you think of him and what you think is going on, if you're not allowed to have the person that is teaching you how to win, and you can't turn to the box and see the person that gives you the confidence to play better because he's the person that got you the Wimbledon win, if they're not allowed to be there, we see it with coaches that don't travel and don't go to every tournament, right? We see players don't play as well when their coach, takes a week off because they have a life as well, right? So, but imagine if your coach was not allowed to be there. That's what Rybakina's been dealing with, And based on this week and last week, even though he wasn't there last week, you would have thought that she probably would have gotten the message first that, hey, he's going to get unbanned. He'll be allowed to come back. So maybe that's why she played so well last week as well. That she knew that he was on the way back, so she kind of felt like, oh, good. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And now he's back, and so far, I mean, if she beats Swiatek, I mean, he has to get some credit. You have to give him credit. Because it's a part of the... Or maybe not give him credit, but give him being there credit. Like him being there makes a difference. I think we have to agree on that if she beats Swiatek as well. You don't have to give him credit if you don't like him. I get it. But that it's better for her if he is there. The situation is better. Hey, Renee, thank you for the month of membership. Appreciate it. Thanks again for everything. No worries. Thanks for sticking around. By the way, Rybakina served amazing today as well. We've seen her serving. We watched her the last couple of times we watched her. She hasn't served that well. That was a great serve day against one of the best returners in the world. One of the scariest returners in the world. So that was that serving display was elite. Didn't she fire him before the WTA investigation though? I think he wanted to come back but was banned. Yeah, again, like I said, Joanne, I know you're like, I get it. Like, you have your opinion on it, and that's fine. I'm not trying to change your mind. Yeah. Well, again, I don't know why. Like, she fired him. He came back. Did she let him go because she wanted to, or because she thought he was going to get banned? So she thought it was best for her career that having a banned coach is not a good idea. Like, we don't know. Again, we don't know the details of it all because nobody's given them, and nobody will give them. Nobody has to give them. It's their business. But I think at the end of the day, him being there, and at least her having a stable coaching team that are there supporting her, I think that helps. Sabalenka's a fixer. No, you're just a bad gambler. Sabalenka actually isn't a great returner by stats. That's why I said most intimidating returners. Maybe not like a Djokovic like return like Djokovic, right? But I mean, like, she's one of the most intimidating players down the other, like, that you have to serve to. Paolini will lose in straight sets against Gauff. I'm excited to see what happens with that one, because who knows? Anisimova defeated Sabalenka and then got bageled by Swiatek. That did happen, yes. But also, Rybakina has been here and done that, so it's a little bit different to Anisimova. You can say, well, first Grand Slam final, Wimbledon, big deal. There's a big deal, and also, playing against Swiatek, blah blah. Whereas Rybakina, she might have destroyed Sabalenka today, but also she knows how to beat Swiatek, and I don't think she'll be as she won't go into that match as scared as Anisimova was, or nervous, right? It won't be as unfamiliar. Like, she's going to know what she's like. I know how to beat you here. I beat you at 1000s before. I know what to do. I beat you at Grand Slams, right? And she's also been there and done that. Whereas Anisimova, we can look. She'll be better. Anisimova will be better for that. Cam, if Vukov is that good for her, then why doesn't Rybakina have another slam already? Why do we have to do this? Why? Look, if you don't agree, that's fine. That's fine. The final's going to be Coco versus Elena. Okay. That would be sick. I would love that final. I would love that final. Rybakina is a thorn in Swiatek's side, like Penko. Yeah, but she hasn't been lately. Swiatek's figured out how to play her, which has been interesting. So that's going to be fun to see in a couple of days. If Swiatek can keep winning against... I think she's won the last two. So it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, we're definitely watching Alcaraz Rublev. It starts in 30 minutes. Yeah, Paolini did beat Gauff last time they played. Yeah, we haven't seen Coco versus Elena. We've seen it once in their whole life. They're crazy. Rybakina won Indian Wells Rome after winning Wimbledon. Yeah. And she made the Australian Open final and semi-finals as well. Yeah, I don't know. Look. Some people just want to, be a pain in my ass. But Cam, if you think Vukov's so good, then why hasn't she done this? I don't know. But also, Rybakina wasn't playing this well a month ago, and he's back now. And she's playing well. So it feels like that might be a reason. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a fluke. Coincidence. What a coincidence. She wasn't playing great a month ago, and then all of a sudden, Vukov comes back, but she, at the same time, coincidentally, as she starts playing well. So that's how fortunate. How lucky is that? That as soon as Rybakina starts playing well, Vukov's allowed to come back. What a great coincidence that is. So don't give him any credit. Because if he wasn't there, she still would have played well. It's all on. It's her. It's, what do you mean? It's got to be a factor. Come on. Like 1% factor. 1%. Paolini is the only player to beat Gauff twice this year. Really? Ooh. Okay. Rybakina saved Swiatek from Penko quite a few times. I know, right? And what does she get for it? She gets to lose to Swiatek, which sucks. At least we get Rybakina and Swiatek. We're supposed to get that at Wimbledon, but unfortunately, Rybakina lost. So at least we get that match now. I do love that match. I love a lot of matches that that we're starting to get. It's exciting. We're getting a lot of good matchups on the men and the women's side. Mainly on the women's side, but definitely on the men's side as well. We're getting the top 10 clashes, which we've sort of not. Feels like we haven't gotten really high level clashes except for Sinner this year, and that Alcaraz Djokovic match. And Sinner Djokovic was kind of good, but it wasn't competitive for reasons. All right, now we're watching the next one, which is happening in about 25 minutes. So I'm going to send you over there. And then we'll be back in about 25 to watch Alcaraz take on Rublev. Which I think a lot of people are going to say Alcaraz is going to win, but Alcaraz hasn't played great this week, and Rublev has beaten him before, so there's got to be some kind of confidence. We haven't watched Rublev all week either, so I don't know what he's doing, but look, it could be an Alcaraz straight sets. Maybe it should be, but maybe it's not going to be that easy. Maybe Rublev's got a trick up his sleeve, but we'll find out that in the next match. Again, big day today. If you plan on going to sleep, I highly advise that you don't, and just sleep in on Saturday and have a breakfast at lunch. So wake up at midday, stay up all night, because you're going to miss out on some crazy shit later if you're going to go to bed. Especially Shelton versus Zverev. That match is a must-watch. If you are a tennis psycho like all of us, most of us, that match is something you have to watch as homework, because that could be a big deal going to the US Open. Plus, Paolini versus Gauff is also a big deal. So both of those matches are must-watch. If you don't watch those matches live, you're going to miss out on something. And then you're going to come back tomorrow and you're going to be like, I fell asleep. I don't know what happened. Cam, explain it. And I'm not going to explain it because you weren't here. And you have to be here. I'm not doing your homework for you anymore. You got to watch these damn matches yourself. With us, but with yourself. But also, you got to watch them. You're live. You can't come back tomorrow and be like, I watched the highlights. That's not going to cut it. I don't want you to do a summary of them. No. Like I said, stay up all night. It's Friday night. You got nothing better to do. And cancel all the plans on Sunday. You have tennis to watch. You got homework to do. All right? Anyways, I'm going to leave and get some food. But then we're going to get back and watch Alcaraz versus Rublev. 6-1, 6-4. Rybakina takes out Sabalenka in a pure dominant performance. Now we've got Rybakina versus Swiatek. I think for the third time this year, maybe. They definitely played it in Australia at the start of the year. So I think it's the third one this year, which is, if Rybakina plays like that, it's going to be a banger in a couple of days. But I'll see you in about 25 for the men's match.